Welcome to Germany for the final day of an intriguing rally. Sebastian Loeb leads and looks set to continue his total domination here. He starts today 37 seconds ahead of the chasing pack. But he hasn't had it all his own way. Francois Duval in the OMV Citroën Zara led after day one, but on day two, it all went wrong for the Belgian. 2 spins and a stall saw him drop down to 4th. Marcus Grönholm started slowly but clawed his way back into contention, but he hasn't been able to match the pace of Loeb. He's second, but only by 12 seconds. Chasing hard is his teammate Mikko Hirvonen. The underpin even pinched second off Grönholm, but it was a short-lived success. A couple of close calls saw him drop back, and on the final stage he lost 3rd place to a charging Duval. He starts today 4th, 5 seconds behind the Belgian. There's another battle going on for 5th between 2 privateers, Jan Kopecky and Tony Gardemeister. Gardemeister, also in a Zara, started the day in 5th, but hydraulic problems saw him drop down to 6th. Kopecky in the Skoda was always going to struggle to hold off the charging Gardemeister, and on stage 13 he lost 5th to the Finn, but to his credit he hit back on the final stage to retake the position, and he starts 2.5 seconds ahead today. It's not been all good news for Citroën, as Danny Sordo was forced to retire for the 3rd rally in a row and for the 2nd time with engine problems. Subaru have also struggled again. Chris Atkinson went off on day 1, losing 8 minutes, and with it the chance of a decent finish. Peter Solberg is 7th, but he has once again been plagued with handling difficulties. So with 5 stages to go, Loeb's lead is a comfortable one. Grönholm will not feel so secure in 2nd, with Duval just 12 seconds behind him. Hirvonen is 4th, 5 seconds further back, and there's still that battle for 5th between Kopecky and Gardemeister. The final day is the shortest of the rally as the crews head back to the Mosel Vineyards. There's also a super special in Trier itself, which will see the cars starting at 15-second intervals. Time then to join the action on this, the final day of Rally Deutschland. Peter Solberg heads into the stage. He's 15 seconds behind Gardemeister in 6th. The team have changed some steering components on the car, so the Norwegian will be hoping to post some more competitive times today. Chevy Ponce in the 3rd Subaru has had another steady rally. He starts today in 8th, but with little chance of improving it. But disaster strikes and the Spaniard is forced to pull over with engine failure.
1.3, thanks Stefan.
Okay, hello, Michael, the engine is dead. Okay.
Tony Gardemeister is still in that battle for 5th with Jan Kopecky. He lost the place, remember, on the final stage yesterday and starts today just 2.7 seconds behind the Skoda driver. He'll be hoping that the superior performance of his Zara will help him retake the position.
120.
Kopecky guides his Skoda through stage 15, knowing the smallest error will cost him dear. But the Czech driver is putting in a fine performance. There's the time he has to match or beat if he's to keep 5th. He's slower and drops to 6th, but he's only 6/10 behind Gardemeister. Francois Duval heads into the stage. He's locked in a battle with Mikko Hirvonen for 3rd place. The Belgian is just 5.1 seconds ahead of the Ford number 2. Duval doesn't know these stages as well as the previous 2 days, but he still looks quick. Miko is already into the stage, and he'll be keen to retake the place he lost on the final stage yesterday. But Hirvonen has gambled on a softer tyre, hoping for damper conditions, but it's bone dry, so he could start to lose time. He finishes the stage, but he's not happy.
We started to gamble and we took the softest tyre we have, and there was a small chance of small drizzle and rain, so if the road would have been damp it would have been okay, but now the tyre is too soft, so... But okay, I didn't have so much to lose, so that's it now.
The podium's gone really then?
Yeah, it's gone. If the next stage is fully dry, with these tyres I don't have a chance.
Using virtual spectator, we can see how Duval, Gronholm and Hirvonen compare as they approach the middle split in the stage. And look how Duval is so far ahead. Gronholm's not too far behind, but look at Hirvonen, he's really struggling on those soft tyres. He was 6.1 seconds slower at the midpoint, and that spells trouble for the Finn. Back with Duval, who's approaching the end of the stage. There's Hirvonen's time, and Duval looks like he can beat this here. He does easily by 10.5 seconds, and putting 15.6 seconds between himself and Miko.
If I finish third, it's really good for me. Why I take so much risk to finish second? It's really important I stay on the road for me for the future.
I think Citroën would like you to finish second to help Sebastian.
Yes, but for Sebastian it's interesting, and for me, if I go off on the road, it's not interesting for me for the future. I prefer Kalmar.
Here's Marcus Gronholm now. He's in second, too far back to make an impression on the runaway leader, Sebastian Loeb. But he'll be anxiously keeping an eye on the times of Francois Duval, who was only 12.5 seconds behind. He's also slower than the flying Belgian, and the gap is now down to 10 seconds. Duval off to a flyer then, which can only be good news for Loeb. If his former teammate can get back in front of Marcus Gronholm, it would mean an extra 2-point gain in the Drivers' Championship race as we move towards the business end of the season. With a healthy advantage, Loeb has eased right off this morning. He's 6 seconds slower than Gronholm, but his lead is still over 30.
To lose that much time this morning, is that wise?
Perhaps I will have to wake up a bit, but it was okay.
Loeb's lead is comfortable, but Gronholm will be starting to feel the pressure of Francois Duval, who's just 10 seconds behind him. Miko Hirvonen's bid for third looks to be over, but there's still a way to go in the battle for fifth. Gardemeister just 6 tenths ahead of Kopecky. Duval is flying, and the Finns are faltering. There's still a long way to go here in Germany. Welcome back to Germany. Loeb has a comfortable lead, but there's still battles for second and for fifth that are some way from being resolved. The crews head into stage 16, and Petter Solberg has finally found some form. He's chasing both Kopecky and Gardemeister ahead of him, and in Moselbein he sets another fast time.
6 right, 10, full Scott shot, 1 left. 6 right, opens 36 left us. Slide right, over crest, 60.
Tony Gardemeister, after taking fifth from Kopecky in the previous stage, is looking to extend his advantage.
Oikein hidas risteys. 7.
Tony, on paper, has the superior car, so you would expect him to pull away.
Rytky oikein eri miinus lyhyt Toijo. Jatkuu pitkä vasen eri.
Fellow privateer Jan Kopecky is flying the flag for Skoda, and he's giving it everything here in his attempt to respond to Gardemeister's charge. The end of the stage coming up now. Has he been able to make up that 6 tenths of a second? He needs to beat that time to get back into fifth. And he's already slower. He's now 6.2 seconds behind. Mikko Hirvonen is struggling again after picking a soft compound tyre. He was hoping for damp conditions and a possible shower of rain. Sadly, he has neither, and that means his tyres are overheating, causing him to lose grip. As a result, he's slower than Duval once again and is now 27 seconds behind the Belgian. Marcus Gronholm will also be wary of Duval. He's seen his lead reduced to 10 seconds and he'll be very keen not to see it get any smaller. But he's slower than the Belgian again, but only by 1/10 of a second.
Oikein nopea ahdas, kirraa leikkaa. 4.
No such worries for rally leader Sebastian Loeb. He has a 30-second lead and he can just drive to Marcus's splits without having to take any big risks. Loeb is slower than Gronholm, but only by 2.8 seconds. So Loeb's lead is still very healthy despite a slow start this morning, but it's anxious times for Marcus Gronholm as Duval is creeping closer and closer. The battle for fifth still has some way to go with Gardemeister just 6 seconds ahead of Kopecky, and don't rule out Peter Solberg, who's now just 7.6 seconds behind the Czech driver. It's on to Trier town centre next for something a little different. The oldest city in Germany is famous for its Roman architecture and actually has the biggest collection outside Italy. And to mark this, stage 17 is a super special through the city streets, and it's been given the rather Romanesque name of Circus Maximus. Thousands of fans have come along to witness this unique 4-kilometre blast through the town, and they certainly aren't disappointed. And you'll see a number of cars on the stage at the same time as each crew set off at 15-second intervals. Fastest on this stage, once again, is Francois Duval. Sit back and watch the Belgian negotiate the picturesque streets of Trier.
Pour quitter gauche 40, pas corde s'ouvre. 25, tenir droite, entre tard, gauche 60, ferme fort, pas corde.
It's all very tight and technical, and with curbs and barriers around every corner, there's practically no room for error.
Surtout pas extérieur et s'ouvre. Gauche ferme 40, rasé, tenir surtout pas extérieur et s'ouvre. 150 mètres, fin chicane, droite gauche 60 ouvre. Droite gauche 60 ouvre. 75, fin chicane, droite gauche 60 ouvre. Droite gauche 60 ouvre. Sur droite à fond, 75.
Little by little, he's closing in on the second place of Marcus Gronholm. He's now just 9.4 seconds back. Duval has Gronholm well within reach then with 2 stages to go. Kopecky also closes on Gardemeister. They're separated by just 3.5 seconds, with Petter now only 7 behind. Before they continue, there's time for a quick service.
It is 9.4 seconds. You are trying to catch him now.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. 9 seconds is a lot for only 2 stages, and for me it's not possible.
I think it is a big fight.
Yes.
Marcus is 2 stages to go. It's a massive fight. Francois 9.4 behind. Can you keep him behind you?
I hope so. He took me 3 seconds now on these 2 what we have left. So I hope I can do the same drive and he is not going fast.
How important is it for Francois to try and get past Marcus?
I think for him it's really important, but for me also. So I would like him to pass, but it looks difficult. Marcus is now really fast here, also on tarmac, and it's not so easy.
But there's drama in the Subaru camp as they try to change Petter's clutch and gearbox. It's a 20-minute job normally, but this service is only 10 minutes, so it's all hands to the pump. Petter makes it out, but it took 11 minutes, so he gets a 10-second penalty for being a minute late. That's another 10 seconds to try and claw back from Kopecky in 6th. Solberg is the only remaining Subaru in the points. And on stage 18, he beats Kopecky, but only by 0.8 of a second. Tony Gardemeister has shown impressive speed this weekend, and 5th place would be a welcome reward for the Finn.
7. Piilo vähän liukas oikein K. Heti vasen open Serpo.
But he seems to have a problem with a rear tyre. This is a nightmare for the privateer. He loses 45 seconds and drops 2 places from 5th to 7th. Francois Duval said that he didn't really know these 2 Mosul stages and he hopes he'll be quicker the second time through them. It certainly proves to be the case. He beats Gronholm by another 3.8 seconds. Loeb then continuing on his way to yet another German victory. But look at that gap between Gronholm and Duval. It's down to just 5.6 seconds. Kopecky's up to 5th and Peter Solberg 6th after Gardemeister's problems. Loeb might be safe, but Gronholm will be worried. With 1 stage to go, Francois Duval is breathing down his neck. Welcome back. Matthew Wilson has had a steep learning curve this weekend, but to his credit, he makes it to the finish without any major dramas. He's 9th. Jari-Matti Latvala, though, has overcome a difficult opening 2 days and is on course to score the final championship points in 8th. Henning Solberg hasn't had a great first outing here in Germany. He retired on both Friday and Saturday. But on Sunday he has a clear run and at least stands a chance of scoring a manufacturer's point. Chris Atkinson, meanwhile, had moved up to 9th following Ponce's exit. No mean feat after losing 8 minutes on the first day. But his fight back ended on stage 16 when he went off the road and straight into a wall. Taking another look at that, and instead of turning left, it's straight on into the wall and a very heavy impact for the Australian. Time now to join the leading contenders in what should be a dramatic conclusion to the rally. Peter Solberg has never looked like threatening the top boys this weekend, but he has at least moved up to 6th following Gardemeister's problems.
13. 6 left of a crash long, upwards of a crash, 100 cow.
Oh, but that's a cow in the middle of the road. A lucky escape there for Petter, not to mention the cow. Jan Kopecky knows he needs an error-free final stage if he's to keep a well-deserved 5th spot. He's 16 seconds ahead of Petter going into Drontal. There's Petter's time. He's going to be slower, but by how much? 8.6 seconds, but that's enough to ensure him 5th. A vital 18 kilometres ahead, though, for championship leader Marcus Gronholm. A marshal waving there. That's because the cow was still by the road. Oh, but a big mistake there from Marcus. He may have been distracted by passing the cow, but what a time to slip up with 2nd place at stake. That was a heavy impact after that spin. He could have damaged the car there. Taking another look from a different view, there's a clear bang to the rear of the car. It remains to be seen how serious the damage is. Mikko Hirvonen, meanwhile, will be unaware of his teammate's spin. He won't know there's now a chance that he could make it onto the podium. It could have been so different for the Finn were it not for that bad call on his tyre choice this morning, but he does at least make it to the finish in one piece. Duval, meanwhile, will also be unaware of his rival's slip-up. The Belgian's attacking to the finish here. He had 5.6 seconds to make up on Gronholm, remember, so there's no easing up from the Belgian.
toujours droite à fond, 75, léger droite à fond, sur long gauche à fond absolu d'arrivée. Long gauche à fond absolu d'arrivée.
He's cleared the stage okay, and with a bit of help from Gronholm, he secured second place at the final attempt.
Francois, it's a massive day in your career. Second overall, because Marcus has had a problem.
Yes, I push a lot. Today I am very happy. After 8 months, it's incredible.
This result is so big for you. What is the future the rest of this season? More rallies?
I hope, because I boarding, I stay on the home to working.
It's a case of damage limitation for Marcus Gronholm now. He's crabbing along the road. He's clearly going to lose second place, and he could even fall behind his teammate Hirvonen too. In all, he's over a minute and 20 seconds off the pace, and he does drop to fourth. And just look at the damage to the rear of the car.
Yeah, I lost the position, and possible 3 points now. But it was my mistake, no question.
What was exactly, we heard the stories, what exactly happened?
No, exactly, 100 meters before that when I went off, it was a cow on the road, or beside the road, and Marshall showed that carefully. I passed it, but next corner I didn't listen to the notes anymore, so up, off.
It's all fantastic news for Loeb, though. He would have been confident of winning the rally, but he'll have seen Gronholm split, and he now knows that the win is his. He's put in another faultless display. After seeing off the threat of Duval, Seb has reaffirmed himself as the undisputed master of this event. 6 wins out of 6 in Germany is simply an awesome record. It's been 4 rallies since Loeb and co-driver Daniel Erner have won, and they're clearly delighted.
Sebastian, it's a big day. 10 points for the championship, 6 win in Germany, but Marcus has lost second with a problem.
Yeah, I think he went off. I saw some very big marks in 6th gear, and I think it was him, because after that I had the split that he's losing a lot of time. I think I can just say thank you to Mr. Francois Duval, because he was pushing incredibly hard, and okay, we had just to drive carefully today, and no big risks.
What a dramatic end to the rally. Loeb claiming the win as expected, but Duval promoted to 2nd and Hirvonen 3rd, and Gronholm in 4th, just picking up 5 points instead of the 8 for 2nd. And that means an unexpected bonus for Citroën.
Before the rally, we knew that it's very important to win the rally, and now it's a little bit more than win, because Francois is finished now 2nd, and it's very important, and now Marcus is 4th, and it's 5 points. It's better that we can expect before the rally.
In one sense, we have to be happy that we live in Germany with a points advantage over our rivals for the Manufacturers' Championship. So it could have been a lot better results, but I have to say it could have been a lot worse.
Marcus Gronholm's lead in the Drivers' Championship is still 8 points, but Sebastian Loeb's challenge has given renewed impetus. Hirvonen moves on to 63 points, and Petter Solberg moves up to 4th. Gronholm and Ford will take some consolation from the fact that they have increased their lead in the Manufacturers' Championship by 1 point. And they will hope to move further towards lifting that title in the next round in New Zealand, where Gronholm and Hirvonen were 1st and 2nd last year. That's in 2 weeks' time, and you can find a preview at WRC.com. But with Sebastian Loeb on top of the podium in Germany, and Marcus Gronholm absent from these celebrations thanks to a wandering cow. It's the Drivers' Championship that's the focus of the rally world at the moment. And make sure you join us in New Zealand for the continuation of the battle. But we'll leave you with a few memories of Rally Deutschland.